Let's visit Tanambao Safuni, a remote community on the southeastern coast. Our brothers share the good news despite frequent rain showers and the great distances they have to walk between villages. Response to the kingdom message is strong, and many ask for a Bible study. Here, 2 sisters are conducting a study while others wait their turn. Interested ones walk up to 16 kilometers, or about 10 miles every week to attend meetings. The village has no electricity, so to download big video files such as convention videos, this elder and other brothers travel 12 hours, mainly by boat, to the nearest town. There are 32 publishers in the congregation, but on average, 150 people attend weekend meetings, 40% of them children. Our dear brothers and sisters from the Tanambao Safuni congregation in Madagascar send their love and greetings to the worldwide brotherhood. From the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses, this is JW Broadcasting.
Mercifully, we're right at the end of the October 2021 JW Broadcasting program, and it's a postcard from Madagascar. We're being given a glimpse of how Jehovah's Witnesses do their work in this particular country. And for me, it's fascinating in the context of a show or a monthly program that's been all about maintaining balance. Okay, you have to serve God. You have to serve God acceptably and make acceptable sacrifices to God. But we think you should maintain balance in doing so. You shouldn't, for example, if you're an older, frail sister in the congregation with lots of doctor's appointments, be necessarily worried about pioneering. Or if you're an elder, you shouldn't be having your privileges in the congregation come before your family worship, that sort of thing. We want you to be balanced in how you're doing your worship. And here we have, right at the end of the show, a postcard from Madagascar that completely torpedoes all of the previous advice on moderation. 10 miles to attend meetings for interested ones. Yeah, that's what we would kind of expect you to do if you're interested. If you're a member of the congregation, we think it's reasonable that you should walk 10 miles to attend your local congregation meeting twice weekly, if that's okay with you. And then you have the circuit overseer traveling 12 hours by boat just to pick up an MP4 file. Just to pick up a file that he can go back and show as a propaganda video to this remote congregation. Where does that fit in with what we were seeing earlier about the elder who couldn't take a call during his family worship? So for me, I don't know, it's almost like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's all very well preaching about balance and about maintaining balance, but if you're then going to show how witnesses in Madagascar are being expected to go to these extremes to live up to expectations that are being imposed upon them by the organization, it's the organization that decides how frequently they should attend meetings. It's the organization that decides their entire spiritual routine, and it seems no allowance is being made for how great the distances are and the lack of availability of transport. So for me, all of that nonsense about maintaining balance, well, I say nonsense, all of that disingenuous language about maintaining balance just completely unravels at the end here. And I also feel that this postcard from Madagascar doesn't age very well in the context of what we heard earlier from Tony Morris.
The gift that each one brings should be in proportion to the blessing. So adding up these blessings, then we're happy to give out of our material possessions. So profound thought there, and something to reflect on so that we don't find ourselves, when it comes to contributions on a monthly basis or whatever, empty-handed. Well, I'm doing so much here and there. Well, money meets a response in all things, and you have to take that into account, even if we're in the poor range.
Even if we're in the poor range, like the brothers and sisters in Madagascar, who are walking 10 miles to attend their meetings, who are living without electricity in mud huts. Even if you're in that situation, even if you're in their poor range, money begets a response, or however he puts it. We'd still like you to contribute. You still owe us because we're God's organization, and you still need to give us Caleb and Sophia's ice cream money so that we can build our new Ramapo. Honestly, I feel that this sort of material, this sort of footage where we're seeing witnesses in other countries, really puts Tony's words from last month's broadcast, the September broadcast, in a whole new perspective. It's one thing to tell all witnesses in a developed country, well, you need to give something, even if it's just $1, we'd still like you to give something. But in countries like Madagascar, in other parts of the world, that dollar can be the difference between making it through to next week or not. That's how poor these people are. And they will be watching the same JW Broadcasting episode. Imagine that. Imagine being in the Kingdom Hall that we saw there in Madagascar, and Tony Morris there saying, you still need to give even if you're in the poor range. It just baffles me, quite honestly. But this is the nature of the organization. It's an organization that is increasingly desperate for funds, an organization that talks a good game when it comes to maintaining balance. But when you actually drill down, when you actually look beneath the surface, you see that this talk about balance is just a veneer. This is a fanatical organization that demands sacrifice, demands that people give everything that they can in furtherance of the good news.